I'm curious what, from your perspective as a center, a game where you spread the ball out, a lot of four wide receiver looks, 46 pass attempts, what it was like out there for you from your perspective.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of good communication on the offensive line. I think for us, it was paramount to just give Josh and his some time with those receivers. Kudos to Dabes. Yeah, but I mean, every game's going to be different. I think today was one of those days where we decided to spread it out and then just go from there. I think the sideline adjustments were great, but I think if you talk to a lot of guys, we feel like we left some stuff on the field. It's exciting, but at the same time, we know we'll have to, sense of urgency coming in tomorrow to see what we can fix. I know I have a lot to fix. So it's exciting, but at the same time, that was a tough opponent in the division at home. We're very fortunate to come out with the win because they have a solid team.
What did you notice? If you guys mentioned the energy that Stefon Diggs brought to the huddle and to the sideline, what did you notice about that?
I think that is an understatement. He brings a lot of juice, and even when it's the kind of juice it's kind of getting on guys, it's not in a detrimental way. He brings out the best of guys in the huddle, and very fond of Stefon and the energy he brought today. And I'm really happy that we have him on our team, and would love to build on that. And he feels the fire sometimes, and sometimes you got to feel it depending on the ebbs and flows of the game. And he felt it, and very, very happy with him and the kind of positive energy he brought, even when stuff was starting to go sideways, in that third quarter.
Awesome. Thank you, Mitch.
You're welcome, Matt.
Hey, Mitch, we talked earlier in the week when we still didn't know what was going to look like on the right side of the offensive line. Obviously, Cody was there. Darrell Williams was there. You haven't watched the film yet, but how did it feel out there, and how do you feel you guys held up in pass protection?
Yeah, I think the communication aspect was the biggest thing. We knew that Greg Williams is a prominent defensive coordinator who can throw a lot out at you. We knew that they had been practicing stuff, and we knew that there was going to be a few looks we hadn't seen. And for us, it was just communicating and then being on the same page, because even if we're all wrong, we're wrong together. I'm very happy with the guys. Everyone's energy was great, even when things didn't go our way a few times. But I think everyone talks about it. We'll have a lot of sense of urgency coming in on Monday, Tuesday, and going into the practice week, because we know that we left a lot in the field.
Obviously a couple of mistakes there on the fumbles, but by Josh. But how much confidence do you guys have in an offense? I mean, we talked about this early in the week too, about Josh's demeanor and his confidence. But as a unit, how much confidence do you guys have that you can play free and you have a defense that plays the way that it played today?
Yeah, kudos to the defense. I mean, I think they started with 3 and outs. That's just exceptional football. It does help us play free, but at the same time, we don't want to get in positions where we're banking on our defense bailing us out. So for us this year, I think scoring points is paramount in any way we can. I think one week could be different than the other, like I said, but very pleased with today. But like I said before, and I'm beating this dead horse here, we still have a lot to work on, and proud of Josh. I mean, his composure after, making a mistake here or there, it was great. And it was maturity at the utmost level, and something that we love to see and we could build on.
Thanks, Mitch.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Hey, Mitch, this is Jordan LaBarber with Bills.com. Kind of you just touched on it, but you opened with the fumble, and then it seemed like on the next offensive drive really marched downfield. I'm wondering how Josh handled himself in that situation, what kind of energy he was bringing there, that response.
He handled himself exceptionally well. And I think the guys that were surrounding him, were building him up. But he really didn't need to be built up that much. He knew what had happened. I think it was just a great show of maturity. A guy who played a heck of a game after that. I mean, we can rally around dudes and guys who come into huddles confidently, and we have their back and they have ours. It makes our jobs a lot easier.
Okay, Mitch, it's Mark Gahn from the Buffalo News here. Thanks for doing this. Just
You're
two
welcome.
quick things. One, you've already spoken to it a little, but the Jets' pressures. It seems like you handled them. You spoke to this a little bit, but I mean, you handled them pretty well. I mean, he had 3 sacks, but they were kind of, none of them were big plays, if you will. Big momentum killer plays. Did you feel like they attacked a little more as the game went on because you guys were shredding them so bad?
I think, yeah, I mean, Greg Williams is, like I said, an exceptional defensive coordinator. He's been doing it for a very long time and throws a slew of fronts at you, and he's going to try to create edgy pockets and pressure any way he can. I thought as the game progressed, they made some really good sideline adjustments that we also had to adjust to. I think communication was the biggest thing today. We were all on the same page. Even if we're all wrong, we're wrong together. I think we still feel like we have a lot to improve in that department too. So it feels good to win, but I think we still have a lot to work on, and that's also very exciting.
Right. And then lastly, Josh, I mean, I realize he had 2 fumbles, but like he beat the blitz early with a quarterback run, which was designed or almost, it was like he saw it and took off. Just what are your thoughts on him as such a potent weapon in the run game? And like that, his mobile, the touchdown run was a walk-in, because he's so quick. What do you think of that?
Yeah, Josh helps this offensive lineman out a lot, gets us out of some sticky situations. A guy who can make a play on his feet is always something challenging for a defense. We don't want him to rely on that too much, but it really is nice to have a mobile quarterback that can get you out of some stuff, even if he knows that the offensive line kind of screwed up once or twice, so he can get us on the move. And sometimes he just played smart. I mean, those fumbles aside, I thought he played great, smart football, and it was great. It was fantastic to see, and I know he feels like he's got a lot to work on, but we all do.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mitch Morse, good afternoon. Mookie Hawkins, Waffle Sports 1080. Congratulations on the win today.
Thank you very much.
Now, I mean, no OTAs, no preseason. You basically had, 2.5 quarter scrimmage. To come out, hey, sloppy victory. We all know that, it's always rooms for improvement. But just give us your overall assessment offensively on what needs to be cleaned up.
Yeah, I think first and foremost, just taking care of the ball, probably. When you have I think it was an even turnover margin, but there was some. It's a great question. I think every player had a little bit of angst on not getting those preseason games in or those OTAs in. I know I did for sure. But once you get those first few plays out of the way, it comes back to regular football, and you kind of get into a rhythm, which is nice.
Yeah, and speaking of rhythm, it seemed like I was trying to get some, in the run game. You got to, try to establish that a little bit early. I understand that, especially when you run an inside zone with a new line, and especially, playing against a Greg Williams defense. So, you got to clean up on that backside there, in reference to getting the edge backside so he could bang it. But how difficult did Greg Williams make it for you to get running lanes for the guys today?
Yeah, his run defense is it's stingy, and he's been they've been a top 5 run defense for as long as I can remember under Greg Williams, wherever he's been. Like you said, we have a lot to work on. I think the run game is one of those things that we feel like we left a lot out there. I can speak for myself. There's a ton I left out there, and it's exciting, but also frustrating because we have a lot to work on. But it's like you said, it wasn't the prettiest win. But it was a win in the division, and we're very happy about that. But we also know that we get to see them again, and they're a great team. It's exceptional defense, so we'll have to come out and play our best ball.
Absolutely, and the good thing about that, you still got 15 weeks to do it, and you can do it each week, day by day. So, job well done, and, back to work on Monday, man. Good job.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thanks, Mitch. That's everyone.